So I finally get back into watching Black Clover and making the reviews right here for this channel, and just this part of what Yami says to Charlotte, it is so relatable if you're a gamer or if you're just a person that just sits somewhere all the time. It's just fantastic, and that's why Yami is the best Magic Knight captain in the series. Hello everyone, my name is Richard Fleming, and welcome everyone to finally Black Clover. Back to Black Clover again. It feels so weird but so great to finally get these videos up towards you guys. Sorry if it's taken such a long time for me to upload, if it's either Black Clover or just anything like that. I'm excited and definitely to get back into this episode right here. So 37, 38 I will be reviewing right here for this. It's going to be quite a little bit longer than the rest of my reviews since I am reviewing 2 episodes, and then I think it's episode 39 that just came out, so I'll be doing that separately. But yeah, let's get into episode 37 and then we'll talk about episode 38. Episode 37 focuses on the 3 Magic Knight captains that come and help the Black Bulls against the Third Eye, or the Eye of the Midnight Sun, which is Charlotte from the Blue Roses, we got Jack the Reaper from the Praying Mantises, and then we have Noelle's older brother, which is the captain, or Nozzle, from the Silver Eagles. So it was really cool watching this part of the anime, just because we really haven't seen Jack the Reaper's power whatsoever. We've seen a little bit of Charlotte during the Clover destruction arc, and then we already know about Nozzle already. We already know about his character. He's kind of a main one. There's a lot of backstory towards him, which will be even more down the road for Black Clover. But I really it was for Jack the Reaper, but let's kind of talk about their magic. A thing you gotta look for in today's episode is this is a big series and a lot of people have different abilities. So Jack the Reaper, I wasn't really shocked about his power whatsoever. I was kind of, I guess, disappointed of his power, most likely, just because he kind of has like 2 swords on both of his sides. Every time he attacked Vito in this episode, it kind of just reminded me of Scyther from Pokemon. Like, that's kind of literally what Jack the Reaper's power has, is he doesn't have to hit you with, kind of his swords or his scythes. He kind of just, swings his arm and the power go right towards you. So that was mostly his power whatsoever. And I don't know if he has a feud with Yami or not, just because in this episode he sees that Yami really has all the strength and he's taking on all these guys by himself, and he wants a lot more popularity than him. And it's like, you're already kind of more popular than he is right now. Look at the standings between the Praying Mantises and the Black Bulls. You're kind of ahead already. Does that just mean that you're just weaker than Yami? Because I feel like it is. Yami definitely, I feel like, is the strongest, or one of the strongest, of the Magic Knight captains. So we see Charlotte's power from the Blue Roses, which a big character from her. And we're going to see this time and time and time again within the Black Clover series, that Charlotte likes Yami. Likes him, and we see from her character that she is, with a team. She's with a Magic Knight group full of women that despise men. But there's a little bit of a secret that Charlotte has, is that she is in love with Yami. She always talks crap about him every time he talks, but at the same time, she wants to be honest and to let her feelings out. So will Charlotte ever do that in the future? Will she actually express her emotions to Yami instead of always giving him crap all the time? So that's a character for her. And she also goes up against Rhea, which is the guy that steals, or copies magic, actually, to other people. So that's kind of her opponent. And then afterwards we get Nozzle going against Light, because his character changed quite a bit. In the first part of the series, or even introduced to his character, he was always just a bad person. He's a bad brother. He's just kind of not a bad guy, because he's devoted to the Clover Kingdom and all, but he's a dick. There we go. That's the word for him, is that he's a dick. But it's been such a big character development that he actually likes Leon as a character, that he's kind of like a brother to him. He's a fellow Magic Knight captain, and he wants revenge of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, to not just what they did to the Clover Kingdom, but what they did to kind of one of his best friends. So we see him try to go after Light, but Nana, kind of the psycho person, which we see every psycho girl part of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. It's not just Sally, but Nana as well. Them kind of going back and forth. Their magic is kind of like the Third Eye, that even though that they're captains, they're so equal to the Third Eye that even though it's going to probably take a long time, like, there's probably still members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun that are equal to the Magic Knights. So this is going to be a really big force that the Clover Kingdom has to go up with. Now, the best part of today's episode was definitely Yami and Asa going after Light. This was an awesome part of this episode, just because it's a little bit of an Easter egg if you look at it. So mostly the whole entire time Finn was recovering his magics, because he has teleportation magic that everywhere that he has been, he has it memorized, and he could use that teleportation to go anywhere, in the Clover Kingdom, or just anywhere in the world, depending on if he has been there or not. So Yami uses his power to go after Light, just because Light is weakened. He's at the stage where he is healing, but at the exact same time we have Asta going after Light, which this is a little bit of an Easter egg, just because even though that Asta doesn't have any magical powers whatsoever, if he tries to go up towards you, you won't sense him because he doesn't have any magic. And this is an Easter egg going towards the dungeon arc, just what he used against the dungeon's leader, or I guess Mars's leader. I totally forgot about his character right there, but that's kind of a little bit of a scene there again. Asta going to attack Light, and it was a pretty awesome moment, I ain't gonna lie. And this is just definitely something, not just the Black Bull's reputation, but also Asta's reputation as well, just because we see that from Nozzle in this episode, that Asta, has kind of a respect for him now. He says in his mind that Asta from the Black Bulls. So even he, the guy that kind of just focuses on himself and tries to be someone, kind of great, or think that he is all fantastic, is looking up to someone else saying, this guy doesn't have bad, magic whatsoever. Or not even magic. This is not a bad person to be a part of a magic squad. So that's kind of big there. And something big that Light says in this episode, which is going to be really important. And I'm saying, not just from the third eye, this is going to be really important for the series, for Black Clover that we've seen. Because when he's talking towards Asta, him having that 5th Grimoire, he has the Demon Grimoire. He's the one that has the Demon Dweller sword, and has the Demon Dweller, I think, just sword. I kind of forget the sword names again, but he has both the swords, which a third one should appear in the future. A little bit of a hint right there, but it's a big thing. I don't want to say any more, just because that's towards more of Asta's development in the series, and even more of the attack. I don't even want to anymore. I don't even know why I'm bringing up that topic. But even Light is going that far that he doesn't want Asta to have this, kind of power, or to have that demon book anymore. It's because that is his master's book. That is his book that he wants. So that's a question. Is Light not the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun? Is he just kind of pretending to be the leader, and there's someone even greater? To know a lot more further in Black Clover. But that was the episode right there. And with that episode, though, it was really good. A little bad animation, though. If you guys are watching the episode, or if you're looking at me, didn't Jack the Reaper have the less animation? Just because every time we look at his face, every time he's attacking Vio or just talking in general, I feel like his animation was a little bit sloppy, and towards a lot of the fight as well. But with this episode though, guys, I do give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good episode. Definitely a good one to return back to Black Clover and to get my reviews out for you guys. But enough of episode 37. Let's go jump into episode 38. Let me hop on to episode 38. And one thing I want to say, the animation, it was just garbage. That's all I could really say. And that's not even a big thing. I say this so many times in my anime reviews that there's always sometimes, whatever series, depending on what you're watching, there's always going to be those episodes where the animation is not going to be the greatest. They could focus on one where the animation is just beautiful, and then they could just focus on one where, it's hard to make a series like this, and it's hard to make it for every single episode. But this one, it just kind of went downhill for me. That was the big problem that I'll have for this episode. But let's focus on the kind of the main aspect of episode 38. So I guess the little points of this episode is Asta finally returning, back to the Black Bull's base. We had actually Mimosa and Klaus try to help everyone out, but they were too late. But they figured they'd just pick up Asta, heal him up, and he'd be good, back to new, all that kind of sort of stuff. We also see a really, I guess, it kind of a big part in this series, which is Rebecca kissing Asta before Noel. Asta gained his first kiss, which that was I guess a big thing I told you about Rebecca's character. Was it was not just because of the arc, it was because of her doing that, and she knew that Noel had a crush on Asta. Noel is a member of the Black Bulls. She's going to be with Asta for a long time, but she thought that she'd be clever and get Asta his first kiss, even though it was just on the cheek and not the lips, but still, kind of a kiss is a kiss right there. Also see a big thing from Asta as well, that he was also even happy about it, and And, you know, he has love for Sister Lily, even though that probably will disappear in the future, even though that maybe he will find a soulmate and everything. But it was still funny. Noelle's jealous as usual, and it's still going to continue like that for the series. I guess a filler or funny part in this as well, since Asta has been recovered, that, you know, the Black Bulls will have a pie eating challenge, so every single member, Yami is the judge, and they go after to see who could win, which we all knew Charmy would win. Charmy is, you know, the food addict. That's kind of what her character is in the Black Bulls. But I just want to say one thing with the series is that it was pretty funny when Finn didn't want to be in this contest whatsoever, so he used his teleportation magic to send all the pies towards Luck. So he was disqualified like that, which I thought was a really funny part of this episode. Like, definitely I think it was the funniest part. I love that. Like, Finn's character, and he's just great. He's just great all around. Luck was just so confused of what was happening. And yeah, so enough talk from that. Let's get to the big part of this episode. It was hinting a few episodes now that why did the Eye of the Midnight Sun attack the Clover Kingdom? You know, there's got to be something really big and important about all this, which they thought there would be a traitor amongst the people in the Clover Kingdom, especially someone that's high tier up if he is a Magic Knight or could be a Magic Knight captain. So they brought in Asta because he does have anti-magic, you know, his sword, whatever he touches, magic will be gone like that. Since, you know, the Eye of the Midnight Sun, since if they were to be interrogated, if they ever got caught, their memories will be locked up, so no one will be able to get inside it, which, you know, that's a great smart move from the Wizard King's part anyway for Asta to do it. And we got introduced though to Marks, which is the right hand man for the Wizard King, or aka Mushroom Head, whatever you want to call it. Of course, Yami always having nicknames or just not even having names for characters in this series, which he is still the best Magic Knight. But now we get to, I guess, the conference room. This right here is spilling a lot of stuff. We have a lot of character development. We have a lot of new characters we haven't known about. We've just seen but not really know their characters. And the most big thing is that the Magic Knight captains can't trust each other during this arc specifically. So let's talk about the Magic Knight captains that we got introduced to this episode. Leader of the Purple Orca is Golder, if I am saying his name right. We got him. His kind of personality that we get in this episode is, it's kind of like Nozzle, for example. He kind of feels like he's high royalty. He wants to get up to beat the Golden Dawn, you know, to be the best Magic Knight captains there are, or just the Magic Knight squad in general. We got one funny character, and you gotta look at his character, is that he is the captain of the Aquadeers, that he is the youngest captain knight to ever be, you know, within the Magic or the Clover Kingdom. So a pretty cool thing right there. You know, everyone, and, you know, I guess the captain of the Magic Knights are in their late 20s or early 30s. So we see, you know, the Aquadeer Will, which, by the way, this isn't really a spoiler. It's kind of just being his age. It gets told in the manga, but he's actually 19 years old. So still kind of a kid being this strong. So I really want to see more of his magic in animation. I already know what it is. Manga readers already know, but I think to you anime watchers, you guys are going to be surprised at what he could do. You know, he's trying to just impersonate everyone just to kind of, you know, chill the mood out a little bit. You know, everyone's after each other in this conference room, and he's kind of just trying to have, you know, a little bit of comedy and for everyone to, you know, relax and get along, but that really doesn't really work out too well. But last but not least, we also get the Coral Peacocks, which is Dorothy, which she's not really anything special. She's just a girl that really just sleeps, doesn't even talk, just snores, talks, whatever. So I don't even know how she gets around. We need to see more of her magic, of why she became a Magic Knight captain. And that's that right there. Really kind of the ending of this episode as well, is all the Magic Knights going to this dungeon, seeing the two members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, saying that one of the captains is the traitor. And that leaves off the episode right there, which I'm pretty sure most of you already know if you watched the episode who is the traitor. And I'm pretty excited, which I will talk about in that episode and that review. But yeah, that was episodes 37 and 38. This episode, though, for episode 38, I'd probably just have to give it a 7 out of 10, just because that animation was just really lackey. I think the only thing that really got me hyped with this episode is, yes, it's kind of going towards a new arc, but it's mostly just finding the traitor and who he really, or she really is. So thank you guys for checking out this review of Black Clover. Guys, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll see you guys in the episode 38 review of Black Clover. Much love, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.